Welcome back to another episode of the Behavioral Economics in Marketing podcast series. This is Sandra Thomas-Comenole. In this episode, we will discuss common pitfalls and hang-ups in delegation. So jumping in, what is delegation? Delegation is the distribution and assignment of authority to another person to carry out specific activities. In other words, delegation is an administrative process of getting things done by others by giving them responsibility. And why is it important? Delegation gives you, the leader, time to focus on higher level tasks while empowering your employees to learn and develop new skills. Further, when done correctly, delegation improves efficiency, productivity, and time management. Hang-ups in delegation. While there are many benefits to delegating work, managers will often choose not to. There are several reasons as to why an individual may not want to delegate work to others. Loss of control. Sometimes managers believe that they can do the job more effectively than others. The sense of loss of control of the task prevents many from delegating work to others. Time costs. Sometimes delegating would require the leader to train their subordinate on how to do the task. The delegation of work to someone else requires the manager to mentor and ensure that the person completes the task. The delegator may need to spend as much time teaching the other individual how to do the task as to complete the task themselves. In that way, delegation can be looked at as a long-term gain versus a short-term win. Responsibility. Delegating does not eliminate responsibility for the task. Although you give up the authority when you delegate a task, the delegator is ultimately accountable for the success or failure of the task. However, transferring the success to the person who did more of the work is a good strategy for supportive leadership. Overconfidence. Managers will often choose not to delegate work because they are certain that they will be able to do it more effectively and efficiently than their subordinates. Lack of confidence in team members. Likewise, managers will choose not to delegate if they lack confidence in their team members, or if their team members lack skill and tools to complete the task. In this instance, it is important for managers to ask themselves if these are easily remedied barriers. Envy. On the other side of the coin, managers may choose not to delegate because they envy their staff member's ability or are afraid of giving the staff member too much authority. There are many reasons that management will choose not to delegate. If you are a leader, consider the reasons why you're choosing not to delegate and if those are fair reasons or easily remedied barriers. Moving on, pitfalls in delegation. Delegating is the key to a successful business and is what sets managers apart from true leaders. But it isn't just the act of delegating tasks that is important. You have to delegate successfully. There are several common mistakes that leaders make when delegating. Here are just a few. Number 1, micromanaging. Micromanaging is frustrating for the employee, undermines the purpose of delegation for the manager, and can create a hostile work environment. If you hire the right people, give them the right tools, and train them well, micromanaging is unnecessary and cumbersome. Number 2, not staying involved. On the other end of the spectrum, some managers will delegate and forget. They will give tasks out but will not check back on their employees to make sure that they are completing the task well. When delegating tasks and projects, set KPIs and deadlines. Then check back on your employee to make sure that they are doing well. Make sure to ask if they have any issues, problems, or if they lack the resources, tools, understanding, or authority to complete the task. Number 3, over-delegating. Sometimes you have that stellar employee that is good at everything. Some managers will make the mistake of delegating too many tasks, projects, and duties to that one employee. Be conscious of your employees' workloads when delegating. Number 4, delegating to the wrong employee. One of the top delegation mistakes is to delegate to the wrong employee. Know your team, their strengths, skill sets, resources, and tools, but also know what their professional goals are. Then make sure that the project aligns with their professional goals. You do not want to give a duty or a large project to a team member that is training to be promoted, especially if that duty is elementary to them. They may take on the project, but it can create tension. For example, imagine a team member who was hired at a manager level with several years of experience. You wouldn't want to give this team member data entry projects that had nothing to do with their position. Unless the data entry project was of high importance and you wanted to make sure that the task was completed by someone who could handle it with diligence and in a meticulous manner. If this is the case, make sure to communicate this to your employee when delegating. And we will cover this topic in more detail during our next episode on the framing effect in delegation. Number 5, lack of clarity. When delegating, make sure that the goals, visions, timelines, and authority level is 100% clear to the employee. Lastly, allow for mistakes and failure. Be flexible and adaptable. Allow for yourself to fall short in delegation, but also on the part of your team. Mistakes are going to happen no matter how hard you try to avoid them. Wrapping it up, understanding how we as humans make decisions is an important part of marketing and leadership. Behavioral economics is the study of decision making and can give keen insight into employee behavior and help to shape your leadership style. In this episode, we discuss common delegation pitfalls and hangups such as delegating to the wrong employee, over-delegating, micromanaging, envy, time costs, and fear of loss of control. Stay tuned for the next episode where we talk about framing effect in delegation. If you are enjoying this podcast, give me a shout out. Like it, share it, follow it, and review it. Also, if you enjoy my style but want to learn more about travel destinations, you are in luck. I am in the process of developing a new travel podcast, the Hub and Spoken Travel Show. If you want to be notified when it comes out, sign up for my newsletter, follow me on social media, or send me an email to let me know. Thank you for listening to another episode of Behavioral Economics and Marketing. This is Sandra Thomas-Comenole.